welcome. So it's the third Wednesday of this month. Hi Shan. It's the third Wednesday of this month, and as promised, on the first and the third Wednesday of every month, we are live. And here we are again with you. And what are we going to be doing today? We are going to be answering your questions on ECG. But before that, I really want to thank you so much. The love, the appreciation, the messages that flow to us are simply fantastic. Thank you so much. And please don't worry about doing up your business image. Please don't worry about your ECG. I am here to help you with any doubt that you may have on your ECG. Don't think twice, just pop me a question and I will answer that for you. And as we go on through today's questions, we will pick up answers on various questions that have come up over the last 2 weeks. But before that, I'd like to know from you, how was Diwali? So Diwali is still on. We still haven't finished the Tulsi Vivah. Diwali is still on. How was it? How was your Lakshmi Pujan? Drop me a message here and share how was Diwali for you. Well, if you ask me, it was fantastic. I simply enjoyed. And the one thing that I noticed very, something that caught my attention was that this year people had more variety of lights put up as compared to and there were more lights. So usually, every year the number of lights on a particular window sill or a balcony sill aren't too much. But this year we actually saw an increase in the number of lights, an increase in the style of lights. And hi Sanket, and that kind of gives you a good feeling. It's so nice to be on the road and see all the lights. It's just amazing. So let's get started with our questions. Hi Tia. Okay, so our first question today is from Radha from Mumbai, and Radha says, I missed your session on virtual communication. Could you please share a few pointers? Okay, Radha, I will share a few pointers on virtual communication for you. But before I share the pointers, let me just share a few things about virtual communication. The way our working style has changed over the days because of the pandemic, virtual communication is here to stay. So now look at you and me. We are actually talking through the virtual communication. Hi Sonal. We are actually talking through the virtual communication. So virtual communication is very much here to stay. And a good thing for you to do would be to master virtual communication. If you're mastering it today, the days to come would be easier. And you would also know how to adapt to technologies as they are moving on. Now, when we do virtual communication, we do virtual communication training, which essentially means you can't have virtual communication getting right till you have the feedback coming. So like for example, when you put me a message and when you say, 10XYZ was something that I liked on your video, or you might say, could you explain how that works? Hi Atul. That kind of helps us understand better. So virtual communication can never be learned by feedback. And if you're really keen on learning virtual communication, I'd suggest that please join my virtual communication training, because that's where we give a lot of feedback on where you need to improve. What are the nuances? What are the small things that people notice? But, and also at the same time, they add a lot of details to your virtual communication. All in all, you become an ace master at virtual communication. So, to begin with you, Radha, about virtual communication, you wanted pointers on virtual communication. The first thing is about virtual communication is please listen. Now, what happens, right now what we're doing is like a one-to-many conversation that you're happening. But in real life, you will have meetings. You have details to be discussed. At that point in time, don't be in a hurry to share details. Calmly, quietly listen. Pay attention to what is being said. The second thing that is a good thing to do is to manage your anxiety. in the pre-pandemic days, we used to do public speaking training. And in public speaking training, we've realized that the one-to-many communication would actually make people nervous and have butterflies in their stomach. So at that point in time, we were dealing on how to manage anxiety in a one-to-many in-person conversation. But here now, there's also anxiety in managing communication when it's one-to-many or one-to-one over the virtual medium. So there's a lot on the internet on managing anxiety, and please handle all of that to manage anxiety. More than this, be prepared on what you want to say. Also have something handy where you can have your notes. If you're the older ones like me, okay, keep a pen and paper. If you're the newer generation, have your tab or your phone ready. Keep something where you can keep making notes of what the other person is saying. Be prepared. If you aren't caught unawares, your virtual communication is much more polished. Keep your face lighted. When there's light falling on your face, when people can see your face clearly, it helps them connect with you better. So always keep your face lighted. Keep your camera at an angle at which your face can be seen. Don't keep your camera too low, don't keep your camera too high. It has to be at your face. Your face has to be seen. So that is about virtual communication. More on that when you join in on our training, Radha. Okay, so now moving on to the next question. The next question that we have today is from Arnav from Bangalore. And Arnav says, I'm attending a party in the first week of December. Is there anything I need to keep in mind? Okay, awesome. So yes, the party season is slowly coming back. The government is also permitting a lot of gatherings. So we now also seeing weddings happening. So yes, there will be a lot of parties. However, we have to understand that corona isn't completely out of our lives. There are a lot of people who are still infected with corona. A lot of us could still be carriers and we may still not know. So please manage the essentials. Please ensure that your mask is still on. Please ensure that you have your namaste in place instead of the usual handshake. So, so many times we get so emotional when we see our friends and our relatives. We just go and tend to hug them. But the right thing to do at this point in time is to just manage with your namaste. That's one of the best greeting that you can do now. Also, please, if you're using a tissue, please dispose it in a closed lid bin. Now that's extremely important. Dispose it in a closed lid bin. Hi Sandeep. So that's about the corona parties that we are having right now. Hi Asmita. Hi Teji. So that's about the LinkedIn parties that, my bad. That's about the corona parties that we are having right now. There are also WHO guidelines. So if you go to the WHO site, there are specific guidelines on what you should be doing for these gatherings. Please have a look at them and please follow them. Don't get yourself infected. Don't have others around you infected. And that is one of the best ways to be alive with the corona disease today. Okay, so Arnav, have a nice party, enjoy yourself, and do send us some goodies too. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. The next question is from Naina from Mumbai, and Naina says, how should I select a sari for my wedding? Okay, awesome. Congratulations, Naina. Congratulations on your wedding. Now, how to select a sari? The first important thing to do in selecting a sari is determine your fabulous fit. Please understand that each one of us has a different body, and one kind of sari that may look good on somebody else may not necessarily look good on you. The other way around, something that looks good on you may not necessarily look good on somebody else. So a good thing for you to do at this point in time would be to ascertain what your fabulous fit is and choose your sari according to the fabulous fit. So if you do your fabulous fit with us, what we do is we give you a lookbook. The lookbook has the options of saris that you can buy for your wedding. The other thing that you should also do is have a look at your personal colors. All of us have different personal colors, you know. These are colors that make us look good. These are colors that kind of bring out the best in you. These are your fashion colors. So get your color analysis done. Understand what are your fashion colors, and then choose your sari. So, you know, essentially when you do your fashion color detailing, you will get a color chart. Now the color chart is a set of colors through which you can buy your sari. So please do these two things very importantly. Do your fabulous fit, most important, and then please do your personal color analysis. This is also extremely important, and there you can pick up any sari. Now the other thing that you have to remember is when you go to the store to buy a sari, they will make you stand on a platform, you know, when they try the sari on for you. Please understand that when they make you stand on the platform, psychologically you start feeling better about the sari already. So don't let that feeling or that emotion dominate the purchase decision. You can shortlist the saris that you like, and when you like the sari, please take it outside of the showroom and check it in the natural light. A lot of these showrooms have lights that show things in a different fashion than what they actually are. So please take that sari outside of the showroom, see how it works on you, and if you like it, then purchase it. So I hope I answered that question for you, Naina, and if there's any help that you need for your wedding, feel free to connect. Okay, moving on to the next question today. We have a question from Sampan, and Sampan says, when we were in office, everyone used to say, do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. With the pandemic and lockdown, business etiquette is out of the window. I'm good at my work. Why should I follow business etiquette? Awesome. Yes. So Sampan, yes, you are right. In fact, I want to congratulate you that you are good at your work. It's really nice to know that. I love the fact that you're doing good at your work. So Sampan, there's a question that I want to ask you. You say you're doing good at work. Would you like it if people treated you badly when you were doing good work? The truth is, none of us like to be treated badly. Now, business etiquette is not a set of rules that says do X, don't do Y, do Z, don't do A. That's not business etiquette. Business etiquette is treating people in business situations. Now, business etiquette is etiquette at the workplace. And no, there are no rules. There can be guidelines, but there are no rules. So when people are fantastic at their work, when people love doing what they are doing, when people produce excellent results, they also want to be treated well. In fact, one of the main contributors that a team leader can do to his or her team is to have people feeling good and respected. The respect that you give to another person is etiquette. And the respect that you give to another person at your workplace, at your vendor's workplace, at your collaborator's workplace is business etiquette. So don't think too much about it. Just follow your heart. Give every person around you a lot of respect, and you're done with business etiquette. There are no straight rules. There are only guidelines as to how you should be doing what you should be doing. Always remember, if you are good at your job and somebody treated you badly, it's not something that we like. You know, it hits us hard if we are not treated very well. So just treat the other person with a lot of respect, and that is business etiquette. So moving on to the next question today. This question is from Siddharth in Mumbai, and Siddharth says, I have an online interview tomorrow. Could you suggest some tips, please? Oh, yes, definitely, Siddharth. Yes, for all my other viewers, online interviews are here to stay, and not just Siddharth. I'm sure some of you have also taken the online interviews. So the first thing, Siddharth, that please be prepared for your interview. So be prepared for all that you have shared with them, and be prepared for all that you have not shared with them. Be absolutely prepared. When you are prepared for the interview, your anxiety is under control. So please be completely prepared for the interview. log in at least 5 to 7 minutes in advance, so that just in case there's a glitch, there's a problem with the network, there's a problem with the camera, setting the camera and all of that, you have ample time to get yourself on track. Have your Wi-Fi checked. Now there are many times when the Wi-Fi would suddenly snap off, or the internet connection suddenly doesn't work. There could be situations like this. Hi Harsh. There could be situation like this. Yes, Tia, online is the future. When Wi-Fi suddenly snaps off and your internet connection suddenly goes off. Now, if something like that happens, immediately drop them either a message or a WhatsApp saying that your internet connection has snapped off. Have that courtesy and the politeness to reach out to them. The next thing, sit at a place where your face is clearly visible. So if they're taking your interview, they're possibly considering you for a job in the organization, and they would like to see the face of the person they are considering for this position. So please have a lot of light falling on your face. The other thing also is, please use your hands to talk. Now, in today's virtual world, like we just discussed a few minutes back, virtual communication is here to stay for all of us. And in this virtual world, we are all caught up in this 4x6 box. We just have to communicate all our feelings through this 4x6 box. So the two things that remain very important. One is your facial expression, and the second is your hands. So please use a lot of your hands to talk. You communicate your feelings when you're using your hands. Another thing, keep some beverage and water handy, because in case you get thirsty, you can't be getting out of your table just to attend yourself. So have a beverage and a water handy for yourself. Manage the camera height, very important. Like I said previously, don't have it too up or don't have it too low. Manage it at the eye level. Very important for you, Siddharth. Look at the lens of the camera and talk, and not at the person. So when I'm talking to you right now, I'm looking at the lens, and now when I'm talking to you, I am looking down on the screen. Now, talking at the lens sometimes feels like drab and boring, because you can't really gauge the response from the other person. But that's the right way to do it, because then it maintains an eye contact. But if you have to look at the person, right, like I'm looking right now, there are times you will have to do that, then you alternate between an eye contact. So Siddharth, all the very best for your interview, and if you need help, please feel free to connect. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so I have the next question from Sushma from Mumbai, and Sushma says, what makeup should I do for online meetings? Okay, Sushma, makeup is a personal choice, and you can do as much and as little makeup as you want. There are, however, a few pointers that you need to keep in mind. Firstly, please ensure that your skin looks healthy. It may not be radiant, but it just has to look healthy. So please ensure that your skin looks healthy. The second thing is, if you're not too much of a makeup person, a very simple eyebrows, liners and a lipstick would work for you. If you are a lot of makeup person, then you can select a lot of eyeshadows and a lot of blushes to add on to your makeup. Keeping them neutral would work for you. If you haven't still done it, please do a face analysis with us. And when we do your face analysis, we will share the kind of makeup that would work best for you. And the makeup as it would work the best can be the same makeup that you can also do for your online meetings. So I hope I have answered that for you, Sushma. And if you have any queries on your ECG, on your etiquette, your communication, your grooming, or if there's a situation that you can't handle, but you know it is important for your career progression, please feel free to either drop us a WhatsApp or drop us an email, either of these, and we will answer that for you. So a lot of people don't. What about men? Okay, Tia, what do you want to know about men? Tia, if you can please elaborate, what do you want to know about men? Yeah, I mean, are you talking about the makeup for men? Okay, so till we receive the answers, I am a business image specialist, and what a business image does is to enhance your career progression. How it does that is that you definitely have a competence. You know, you are doing extremely well at your job. Technically, you're competent, but a lot of people don't understand your competence. And if they don't understand your competence, you really don't have too many opportunities coming your way. When we design your business image, we design it in a manner that shows people your competence without you having to say a word. So that means you don't have to stand over the rooftop shouting, hey, you know what, I'm good at this. Okay, so you don't really have to do that. Yes, Tia, give me a minute, I will be with you. So you don't have to really do that. But your business image, your ECG, that is your etiquette, your communication, and your grooming, actually details your competence so that you have bigger opportunities coming to you. Okay, so Tia says, what about makeup for men and how should they look on screen? Okay, so well, men, this applies to you too. You can't sit in a bedhead. You've got to be smart when you are on the camera. A few important pointers: if you don't have a beard, please shave. Please be clean shaven. If you have a beard, please take care of it. Wash it, massage it, condition it. Please give it the right care. Don't have it flying off in directions. Comb it properly. Let it look classy and elegant. Keep your hair from frisking away. So you may need a gel, you may need a hairspray, but keep your hair in place. And if the need be, dab on some powder over your face. If your skin is too oily, it's a nice idea to dab on some powder over your face. And I hope I've answered that for you, Tia. Okay, so till Tia gets back. Ma'am, clothes for fat men in party. Okay, Mahakal Bhagat, if you could please. Mahakal, is that you? Clothes for fat men in party? Okay, so let me start while Mahakal gives us the answer. Okay, so one of the best things to do if you are on the heavier side is to wear the same color. Yeah, welcome, Tia. So is to wear the same color. It's a good idea. Yes, Mahakal. Okay, so if you are on the heavier side, gentlemen, it's a very good idea to. Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt this. Acha, so Mahakal is Saksham. Okay, hi Saksham. Okay, coming to dressing up for heavier men. A good thing is to remember that a lot of attention should be near your face. Now, if it's a party, wear darker colored clothes. It's December, so darker colored clothes work perfect. Wear darker colored clothes. Wear dark colors in close contrast. So, for example, you could wear a dark blue jeans and a black shirt, or you could wear an indigo shirt with a dark blue jeans. You could also wear Bermudas if you feel like in dark colors. So, stick to darker colors. Other side thing is, don't emphasize your waist too much. You would have a lot of weight around your tummy, so don't emphasize your waist too much. Take a belt that is thin and not something that attracts a lot of attention. Even the buckle of the belt should be simpler. It should not attract too much of attention. Now, Section, when I'm answering this for you, I am thinking that you would be wearing something like a shirt and a jeans for the party. What are your favorite outfits that you like to wear to a party? Okay, so while Saksham answers this, if you are wearing a band gala, for example, it's a nice idea to once again wear a band gala in darker colors. So if you are on the heavier side, let your okay, so Saksham says kurta for non-official. Okay, so for this particular party that you're talking about, Saksham, are you saying you want to wear a kurta with jeans or a kurta pajama set? What do you like to wear? Sandeep, please give me 10 minutes. I will be with you. What would be the right clothes while in the office party and business meeting? Yeah, I'm just coming to that. I'll just finish with Saksham, Sandeep, and then I'll be with you. Saksham, if you could please help me understand that. You'd like to wear a kurta pajama. Okay, so if you're wearing a kurta pajama, Saksham, opt for colors that are slightly darker than the lighter colors, because darker colors will kind of contract you. It'll be nice if you have some work, some detailing done on your collar here. So, there are also kurtas where you have detailing that is done here, and there's some detailing done on the buttons as well. That also will look good for you. But please don't go in for kurta who have a lot of garish work all over, because that will just emphasize your size way too much. So go in for very simple kurtas which have a lot of work that is around the neck and then on the buttons. Use rich fabrics. You can use pure silk, you can use linen silk, you can use khadi silk. Use all that kind of fabrics that are rich, and at the same time, if you are in a place which is like really cold, you can even opt for velvet. So the choice is yours in terms of fabric, but please use a rich fabric for your parties. And I hope I've answered that for you, Saksham. If you have any more doubts, please put it here itself in the chat box. Okay, Sandeep, so coming to you, give me a minute, please. Sandeep, you want the right clothes while dressing for office party and business meeting for slim and heighted person. Okay, so Sandeep, are you saying that there is a business meeting in the day and then you want to continue for the same thing, the same day ending in a party? Is that what you're looking for? Or are you looking for two separate occasions where there is, you want dressing for business meeting separate and dressing for parties separate? What would you prefer? Okay, so while we hear from Sandeep, business meetings require you to be formally dressed. Now, Sandeep, it will be nice if you can also share your industry. It will help our viewers understand what is formal, because every industry has a different dress code. So if you could also put in your industry here, that will be very helpful. Hi, Shilpa. Okay, so while we hear from Sandeep, let me discuss a little on business dressing. The most important thing on business dressing, if you have to be for a formal occasion, and especially for gentlemen, this is especially for gentlemen, if it's a formal occasion and you are in a business setting, it's a nice idea to have a layer over what you're wearing. So, most gentlemen would be wearing a shirt and a pair of jeans, or a shirt and chinos, or a shirt and trousers. Some of you may also wear a t-shirt with jeans. That's the kind of outfit that we would wear on a daily basis. Now, if you are in a business meeting where there are a lot of stakes, where there are negotiations happening, or a point where you got to prove your competence to either your clients or to others, it's a nice idea to add a layer. Now, when we say a layer, a lot of people get this thing, oh, I'll have to wear a blazer and it is so boring, and oh, I don't like to wear a blazer. I get so many of these comments of people saying, hey, you know what, suits are boring, blazers are boring, I don't want to wear these. I get a lot of these comments. Now, please understand, when we say you have to add a layer, you don't always have to wear suits. You don't always have to wear blazers. If you belong to one of the today's industries where you're used to wearing t-shirts and bermudas all the time in an office, all that you have to do in adding a layer would be possibly put a scarf around you, or wear another t-shirt over your current t-shirt, or wear another shirt over your t-shirt, and that's a layer. But please have a layer over whatever you're wearing. That makes it more formal. The other thing is, there are some colors that are formal colors, there are some colors that are social colors. And if you really want to be formal, it's a nice idea to wear business colors to work. So you can wear a t-shirt, like for example, olive green is a business color, and you could just wear an olive green t-shirt. You can wear a round neck t-shirt, you don't even need a polo, but stick to an olive green. Or you could wear a plain black t-shirt, or you could wear a plain black shirt. It's up to you. So while Sandeep, we are still waiting for your responses. If you could share this, that'll be great. I'll repeat my two questions for you. My first question for you is, Are you talking of a business day where it's a typical daily business day where you're attending meetings and you want to wear this, you want to convert yourself to a party dress for the evening? And my second question to you is, what industry do you belong to? Every industry has different rules for formals and casuals. So if you can share the industry you belong to, even with our viewers, it's easier for them to understand which industry are you from and where are the outfit solutions coming from. So the outfit solutions are essentially the G of ECG, and the G is grooming. The E stands for etiquette and C stands for communication. So while we wait for Sandeep to answer, if you are if you would like to go for a party, and if it is feasible, please use a social color shirt or a t-shirt. You can just tuck it in your bag and just change before the party. That's one of the easiest things to do. If you really want to add on a little bling, you could carry some accessories along and you just add on your accessories before that. Now the real challenge would be if you have a costume party and you have to follow the costume dress code that has to be given, then that is a real challenge, because that is where you will have to invest your energies into getting into that particular outfit. But without that, a simple change of shirt or a simple change of t-shirt into some social colors with a nice scarf around you would look fantastic. Okay, so while we wait for Sandeep to answer, let me connect with Sandeep on this. I know Sandeep personally, so let me just connect with him on this. And definitely on the first Wednesday of December, I will answer this for you in detail, understanding from Sandeep what his requirement was. So I hope I have answered all your questions, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to connect. You can be with me on either WhatsApp or put it down for me on email, and I will answer that question for you on our next Insta Live on the first Wednesday of December. Till then, enjoy yourself and we'll catch you soon. Bye. Take care.